It was important that I even talk about this because in many years I have always asked to myself why many people were so rude and disrespectful. I thought to find the real root of this because the reasons can't be only their growth, the example they had in the family, and the most of the negative experiences that brought them to throw their bad behavior on us. This is not normal for me. Every people can be a great discovery, but also a person who has better to not meet on our path. I have met many people, even abroad, and there are many shadows that I could mention, but today I will speak only of the most extreme cases, and just to try to understand what there is in their mind. Why we have to deal with people like that every day? Where is the humanity? Why people don't actually help others? I would like to take this opportunity to say that this video is with the purpose of conversations. No attack by anyone will be considered. Starting from the beginning, if we think of the natural selection, those who adapted, they are survived, and this is going on from generations. For many years, there is this problem of the lack of respect in various contexts. And this happens because the circumstances allow it, or people who live inside that circumstances allow it. And it's only thanks to our education, especially in letting go, that we say nothing in response. I'm talking about extreme situations. Every constant and unpredictable change has marked us in some way over the years, and sometimes a person can think, before now, how could it be in this way? And maybe it was our normality in those living conditions. Take a moment to consider the generations of our parents without giving an age. This speech is just based on the Italian past, but you are free to mention the path of growth of other countries in the comments, and only for the purpose of sharing, the rest will be removed. To Italian parents, it was normal to live in a humble house with counted food, where for some people eating meant not necessarily sharing food with their family, but on the contrary, they were in a boarding schools. This was normal once, while now it would be crazy just the thought. The adaptability has allowed to those generations to grow the same, also because it is a distinctive feature of the human that we carry on always. Do you remember, or did your parents tell you that they are used to get slapped on their hands at school by the teacher? These things, the generations will come, they will forget everything if we don't hold these rules alive. And in addition, also many others ones now partially disappeared. It's important for me to report lost concepts. And as much as some people just want to forget, I think it is right to continue to remember, because this can serve to the future generations to impart some basic disciplines and good sense in them in the lifetime. You who are following this speech, once there was severity, bad words, beatings, and zero contact in terms of unaffectivity, and it seems strange even to mention it now. Maybe because the generations still behind came from the war, and these were the result of many difficult things. How it's been hard to bring people back to an apparent normality, and how they tried to choose a rigid regime in the institutions. Let's be clear, I'm not generalizing by calling everyone ugly and bad. They are just personal observations that I thought to share. Parents, for those of us, they are pure goodness, or to others the opposite. I would really like to understand why so many children of this, even good people, they are really inclined to treat others so bad, and I'm talking about extreme cases. Where are the best qualities that include respect, education, understanding, compassion, empathy, sensitivity, and humanity? As much as everyone has bad days, where sometimes happens to treat someone badly, here I'm still talking about those people who pretend to not see people live in bad way as homeless. I understand not being able to help to different reasons, being morally sad seeing another person in distress. I also understand not having the money, and I even understand not helping to fear that people will become attached to us. But I cannot understand the decisions to not help regardless. I respect free choice, but who are you to teasing people who are worse off than you? Who are you to do this? In life you should not humiliate, beat and disrespect. Instead, we must to give value everyone, being kind and bringing respect. And another thing I'll never stop saying is that you don't have to be rich to help people. There are so many beautiful humans in the world, and I luckily met so many of them. I have met people who understand and help, and people who, even if they are not open, they are still pleasant to have around, and they also make you feel their closeness. Many of us know that one bad person is enough to ruin everything, but the wonderful thing is that it makes the difference is that we are not them. We may have a bad past, but with our good character rooted in our soul, we can improve us every day, and especially no one can ever turn it off, change or take away from us. I'm also here to remind you that united we stand, divided we fall. And when we attract other people with our personality, and in a parallel way, we attract abundance and beauty into our life by what we do today, every moment becomes special and unique. And these bad people end up in oblivion, where they are still crying because people like you and me overcome everything once we are rid of them. You need to exclude anyone from your life who is negative and oppressive with its negativity, especially when a person is part of your family. Start to see it as bit as possible, continuing to think that you will know better people once you are in harmony with what you want with honesty. Who has no humanity, and often even personality. It destroys personalities of great value, but what this one doesn't know is destroying itself with the frustrations and the continuous crying of a child that it has within and that it has never been heard sufficiently. This is a person with emotional issues, a thought that aren't probably even the right words to define it. If you are a good person, help it, as long as circumstances require it and allow it. If not, leave it totally. If it is constant, my listener, loud, and do it as hard as you can, because you know now what it's leaving this poor person. You are not superior, to be clear. You are humble, and you think simply as a monk. And as one of them, you have learned to overcome everything by meditating on your personal future and also by staying in silence when someone wants teasing you. Let the moments flow in. When you discover the silence and help those who don't appreciate you, then you have learned to live with a free mind, because you don't need much to live well. Monks, for example, only have their own cassock, and they need nothing else. You just needed to listen to silence like them, knowing how to forgive and enjoying your passions. The rest is beautiful as far as passing through. True love exists globally, but it's still rare. And exactly for this, we must be the exception that makes people believe that there are still beautiful humans. Be that person, and if you are not yet, become it.